All right. We're in there. Do you need a glass of wine before we start?
Yeah, pour me one for sure.
All right.
Is it sure or sure?
To me it's sure. It's not sure.
Sure.
It's
Maybe
sure.
that's a northeastern Philly thing.
Tell me when.
Right there.
Perfect.
Sure.
Nice big glass of wine for the boy. Hitting the wires and stuff.
Or the girl.
Yeah, you don't know at this point, right, Chris?
Not at all. Not at all, Sean.
How could you know, though? Who would tell you firsthand what it was?
No one. Who could tell you? Think about the philosophy of this. What would tell you? Is it your instincts? Is it modern machines? Is it, an ultrasound?
I think it goes back to it's just people, right? It's
People tell you.
It's a person who tells you something about something.
Jack Johnson had a good song.
I thought you didn't listen to Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson's good. He has a song called I don't know what it's called, but it's People Will Tell You. Turn on the boob tube. I'm in the mood to complain. It's a good song.
It's not the banana pancake song, right?
No. It's here. Real quickly.
Keep Mike up to the mouth.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
Here. Yep.
I got him.
Real quick. Jack, Jack, and your library, Jack Johnson. And the song is called Good People.
Oh.
This song.
Where are the good people going?
Yeah.
Right?
Where all the good people go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad, right?
Yeah?
Not bad.
Yeah. He's talking about the average people on the day-to-day.
So what's it gonna be? 'Cause people will tune in.
That's the
Right.
momentum of this podcast then. The Jack
Yeah.
Johnson, where are the people going?
Well, let's wait to the hook and then I'll turn it off right
All right.
here.
Getting worse. Where all the good people go? I've been changing channels. I don't see them on the TV show.
All right. So, where do all the good people go? Oh. So that's Jack Johnson, Good People. Now, what were we talking about?
We were talking about how someone tells you something, right?
Yeah.
So, how does someone break the news when the news has to be broke?
Well, in the famous lines of You, I heard the news, pretty bad, fire, burn house, whole house.
Pretty sad.
Right? Well, look, there's a couple different ways you could break the news. You could do the classic, hey, we got you a present. You could do, hey, I got to tell you something.
Hey, we got you a present. That could work, I guess.
You could do the whole, hey, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, but is it outdated at this point? Like, does everything have to be social media driven where to break the news it's on social media instead of just an old school?
No social media. That's the trick.
That's the trick.
Who needs to know? Your crush from 5th grade? Fuck them.
Fuck
They
'em.
live a different life than you.
Sure. I'm
Okay.
on your dude, I'm on your
Fucking
page.
bitch.
I'm asking though, why is that the norm to break the news on social media like that?
Because you have this instinctive,
Think
biological,
think
evolutionary,
third party, right?
evolutionary instinct. You want to be bigger, better, more dominant, right? You want to show your dominance. You want to flaunt yourself to other people to assert yourself, right? So take all that into
But why?
consideration.
Yeah, why though?
Take all that into consideration and then add on years and years and years of social social tempering,
Acceptance?
social tempering, social blah 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 blah. What's that word?
Temperament? Social
social
anxiety?
Social world. How does Joe Rogan do this shit?
Yeah, it's easy.
Social what?
Social acceptance.
Let's just say social acceptance, social exercise, social realism. You want to tell people that you're doing good because it makes you feel better when more people can agree with how you feel.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But at the same time,
But there's always the but.
there's the but you want to let people know when you're going through hardships in life too.
Now, when you let them know that, now this comes back to the episode that we're shooting right now, which is the first episode of Valy's Corner or Chris's Corner, whatever you want to, whatever take you want to take on it.
Valley
but
Square and shit.
Valley Square. But so tonight we got news of that
We got news of some
we
stuff.
could possibly be
Yep.
uncles, and we're
Uncles.
about 9 weeks in. So congratulations to Dan.
Congratulations, Dan
and
and Chelsea. Yep.
So it goes into that of how this is the question, bringing it back
You right?
for Dan and Chelsea. How do you, in the world that we live in right now, do you keep something like this hidden from a social media standpoint, or do you like how do you go about? And that's just an example of them too. But like, if something big happens in your life, do you exploit yourself onto social media, or do you keep it low key? Is it mindset? Is it how you feel? Like,
Right.
why, when,
Right.
where, how?
All right. There's a couple ways to break this down. A couple guidelines per se to break it down. Let's say it's something that you've accomplished generally in your life,
Right.
such as getting a career,
Yeah.
and you're proud of all the hard work you've put into it. And you're thinking, well, you know what? This is kind of appropriate enough to let people know, because I want to let people know that I'm on my path and I'm doing okay,
Right.
and I've accomplished A, B, and C in my life, and I feel good about it. That's when it's like appropriate to let people know, like, hey, you know, I've been going through this and I've been accomplishing that, and I'm proud of myself for this, and I feel really good. That's when you should be like, I'm looking forward to sharing all this on social media with my friends and family.
Mm.
But there's other things that you want to keep,
Secret.
not even secret, but to yourself. You know, just because it's not on social media doesn't mean it's a secret.
Mm.
It just means that you're not at that point in your life yet where you want to share such information with random general audiences.
Mm.
You want to, maybe first you want to share that information with your close family,
Family.
with
yeah.
your close friends.
Right.
You know, you want to celebrate, you want to party, you want to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Then when it becomes like completely official and everything's 100%, then you have a good time and you say, hey, world, here I am. I am here. Right.
No, that makes 100% perfect sense. So like, in theory, it's pretty much up to you what you want to share with the public, because the public's inevitable. Like you're going to run into social media and people
Yeah.
seeing
Think about
whatever
it. Think about it
is,
like
right?
this: is the public, the idea of the public, is it one person? Like the public, is that a one being kind of scenario?
I don't know. Is it?
Well,
Or-
it depends on how you think of it.
Right. I
Like,
don't.
Who is the public? What defines the public?
I think I understand that, because I think of certain things as groups or people. Like for example, my friend group I think of as individuals, but like on an Instagram account,
Yeah.
a lot of people you don't know who might follow you or not follow you. I don't know them personally, so I look at them as the public, as the
Right.
group,
Right.
right? So when you're having a kid, or when you broke your arm and you don't have to, but you feel necessary to explain why you're out of commission, the question comes up, are you explaining it to the group, or are you explaining it to your friends, or what
Right.
is actually happening?
And what defines the public?
What defines the public? What makes the public
like,
the public?
is the public your friend group, or is the public people who you don't know?
Which comes back to personal preference, or not, but like the way you see the world, right? So like, so personal, the public would be, for me, would just be people who follow me, and then it gets personal with friends, family, etc. But on a broader scale, how would you view that?
Well, First, I would click on the Instagram app, and I'd look at all the little bubbles of all the faces that watched
Breaking
my
the
story.
seriousness, I needed that.
Look, it's all a joke, okay?
It's not all a joke, Chris. It's all the way you perceive life.
Well, if you perceive it as a joke,
Then you'll feel like you're a joke yourself, maybe.
okay.
Maybe you won't, though.
Okay.
Maybe if you perceive it as a joke, you feel like you're on the other hand. But if some people perceive it as a joke, they feel like they're on the other hand. There's always the left and right. I always say that, flip the coin. There's always the other side of things,
I
right?
flipped the coin tonight.
So if you're on one side, whether it's negative or positive, if you're on the positive side, you might feel one way, while the other is the other way. So it's the same thing with the social media thing. Like, it depends where you place yourself. And is that an issue where you place yourself with, like, just a normal upbringing, a normal person? All right. For example, think about Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah.
Season 4,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Think about the new character that came into play, right? The young kid, the young kid,
yes.
the young kid,
young kid, yeah.
right? And he was getting bullied,
Yes.
right? And he had to place himself in a position, right?
Sure.
So what made him choose the position he was in, right?
It's not that he chose it, right? It's not that he chose his position at all. He
Mhm.
didn't choose to be bullied. He didn't choose any of it. He wanted to. He was moving to
He was
a
a
school district.
Good
A
kid.
great kid. His dad's in the armed services. You know what I mean? Like great kid, had good head on his shoulders. The whole thing is with that is that his situation chose him. Now he was cyberbullied, right? It wasn't his fault. He moved into a new school district and tried to make friends, and a whole group of kids bullied him.
Mm.
They put milk in his locker. They bullied him. They put him on the internet. All this shit. They made fun of him on Fortnite or whatever, Minecraft, whatever the hell, and they told him to show up to a place, and essentially they bullied him. Now, this kid had 3 options. He could have gone home, could have cried a little bit, he could have dealt with it, maybe gone to school, maybe figured it out. Who knows anymore? In the real world, you really don't have karate as an option in the real world. You could maybe deal with it, maybe tell your parents, maybe you blah blah blah, you see your guidance counselor. But he was told to seek out Cobra Kai.
Right.
Now, at the time that he seeked out Cobra Kai was not in a good state. Before this time, Cobra Kai was run by Johnny, but now it was run by John Kreese and Silver, whatever his name is. Silver.
Solid.
Yeah. So the whole thing is that if he went to Johnny initially for help, Johnny would have trained him how to fight in self-defense, but with honor and with morals and this and that.
Was Johnny's whole thing how because Johnny was third party in the end, right? Third party. He wasn't Cobra Kai. He wasn't Miyagi-Do, right? So Johnny ended up being Eagle Fang,
Eagle
right?
Fang. Yeah.
That was a middle ground, right?
Well, what it was this. He initially restarted up Cobra Kai in the beginning of the show when he was going through his midlife crisis.
Yeah,
having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, he went back to Cobra Kai.
But John Kreese came back and took over Cobra Kai again and brought it back to what it was in the 80s, where it was disrespectful. It wasn't about self-defense. It wasn't about doing the right thing. It wasn't about defending yourself. It was about greed. It was about hurting people. And eventually Johnny got knocked out of that whole morale and didn't want anything to do with it. And he decided, hey, I'm going to team up with Daniel. And so he has the teachings of the original Cobra Kai, but he has the moral wisdom of, like, I'm an adult, I have responsibilities, I want to look after kids. So there's a line that he will not cross, and that line is a line that John Kreese and Silver have crossed years and years ago. So his teaching of Cobra Kai from the 80s has evolved into Eagle Fang, where he is about kicking ass and defending yourself and fighting the other opponent. Now you got Miyagi-Do, which is about what is it?
Defense.
Defense. Eagle Fang's about offense. It's
Yeah.
about kicking ass. Miyagi-Do is about defense. It's
Right.
about blocking, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now you got Cobra.
And like
na-
meditation.
yeah.
And all that
Now you
kinda
got the
shit.
new formed Cobra Kai by the original founders, John Kreese and Silver.
Yeah, that
and,
guy with the
and
man
it's
bun.
about no mercy. It's about beating people up until they're fucking dead. It's about, all this negative shit.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's 3.
Yeah, there's 3 instead of 2.
Right.
That's what makes the show happen.
Right.
now.
But now Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do kind of married each other because you need the perfect balance of offense and defense.
yeah.
And that's how they will beat Cobra Kai.
I fucking love that, dude. Like from when I was a kid or whatever, like watching Karate Kid and shit and seeing Danny being beat up by Johnny or whatever.
Right.
That shit was like we used to go to the bookstore in Southampton,
Right,
the
right.
library,
Right.
and our mom would rent that movie every week for us because we would watch it over and over.
It's pretty crazy how 35 years ago, back in the 80s, whenever, these kids who played Daniel and Johnny, right?
Yeah.
They were just young adult actors in Hollywood. They had their agents, they had their scripts, they had their motives, they were told what to do. But so many years later, 30, 35 years later, here we are in 2021, 2022, whatever. Now these young actors went on to become producers of the continuation of this entire story.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. If they're out of the game for 30 years, how did they come back in?
Right, conspiracy. They were in the whole time.
Really?
I don't know.
Maybe they were investing.
I don't know, but they have a hand in writing the show. They have a hand in where these characters are going.
Well, you got to think. The only reason the show gets brought back like that is because of them. Right?
Right.
If them characters weren't in the show and they were like, "Oh, we're making a show and we're basing it off of what the old Karate Kid, but these characters aren't going to be in it," it wouldn't work out, right?
Right,
So they
right.
based the show around these characters,
Right.
and by bringing them back, these guys obviously are like, "Okay, well, I'm if you want me to be in your film, I'm pulling a shit ton of money from
Right.
you."
And the other interesting thing is that this is like a trend in Hollywood, right? So let's say that these two actors, I forget their real life names. I know them, but it's just in the back of my mind.
Yeah, who
right now.
cares?
These two actors,
know 'em.
Johnny
The
and
Karate Kid guys.
Johnny and Daniel, right? These two actors, Ralph Macchio and the other guy, I forget.
Who's Ralph Macchio?
Daniel?
No shit, his name's Ralph.
I think, I don't know.
That's pretty weird.
These two actors, they might have not even seen each other for 30 years, right? 30 years. But they could both agree, like, hey, we want to do something special. We want to bring this back in some form. And we're both on board with it, right? Now, this kind of thing is happening right now in Hollywood in every single fucking company. Everywhere. Every Warner Brothers, Disney.
Yeah,
fucking
they're all
whatever,
trying to bring
Netflix.
back the old school people.
They're trying to. It's nostalgia bait, but it's a good thing, right? In a way, there's a good and bad with it. But they did the new Spider-Man movie. They brought back Toby and Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
They've done what they're gonna do. Batman. They're gonna bring back Michael Keaton. They're fucking bringing back Cobra Kai.
Michael Keaton in the new Batman
Yeah,
movie?
they're bringing him back.
In the same movie? There's going to be 2 Batmans?
They're bringing him back.
Well, that's fucked up,
They're
man.
bringing him back.
In the same movie or like in a different movie?
In the Flash movie, Flash travels through like
Flash, the guy from The Flash. That kid.
yeah.
The dude from
From the-
Wallflowers.
No. Yeah. From the Snyder movie. Did you watch the Snyder
Yeah,
cut?
I watched it through.
Yeah.
Wait, they're taking that kid and making a whole movie with it?
They're making a Flash movie where he travels through time and shit.
He's a good actor.
He's
I like
good.
him.
Yeah,
I
he's good.
respect.
He's good. He's going to like run back the universe and like erase everything and start over.
And then there's going to be 2 Batmans in it?
He's gonna be Ben Affleck, and then he's gonna reset.
In the same movie?
He's gonna reset the timeline, and he's gonna like unlock Michael.
So they're
Keaton.
trying to be like Marvel now. They're trying to do
Yeah.
double, triple universe, whatever the fuck it is. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. But aside from the DC and this and that and the other, what we were talking about essentially is, you know, the acceptance of shit.
the acceptance rate.
I just spilled wine on me.
Getting into college.
Nah. Chris,
Yeah.
yo, what you on your phone about?
Nothing. So, Sean, riddle me this.
Yeah, riddle me something.
We've been talking for what?
20 something. I can't. We started out the episode out with Dan.
That's good.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is all I get, though.
Yeah. What's up with wine? Like,
Yeah,
you open it and you pour it like 4
Chris,
times.
we
the
must have
bottle-
drank 4 bottles already since you've been home. All right, so let me get it like this, right? So we got our glass of wine. We ran through the sequence we wanted to run through. We're about 25 minutes in, maybe, to essentially what would be a podcast episode,
That's right.
right? So let me switch the whole subject and the whole topic here and
That's right.
and bring it in a little bit deeper about where we are at, where you are at, essentially in terms of life, right? So Dan potentially is having a child, which means that you might be an uncle, right?
Yeah.
So we bring it back to that,
All right.
and we say your initial thoughts of that moment. What did you feel when you saw? Unfortunately, you saw a picture. So for me, real quick, I had saw a quick. My mom called me up to the kitchen. Dan and Chelsea were sitting there. I opened up this package, and it was a picture of a baby, and my jaw dropped to the floor.
How bad did it drop?
It was the absolute longest drop of my jaw probably in my
Like,
existence.
What physically
The
happened?
only thing I can think about when my jaw dropped was when my wrist broke, because it was that traumatic. Not traumatic in a bad way, by the way. It was traumatic. It was traumatizing in a good way, not in a bad way. Because we had been talking about it for a few, like, we've been hinting at this for a while. Remember we were at Dan's?
We've been manifesting it.
Well, that's what me and Dan were talking about. Remember we were at Dan's and we were like, yeah, Dan, Darlick shit on the couch. Wait until you have a kid. He already knew.
I want to know if when you sent Dan the pictures from Zillow of the nursery like a month and a half ago, if he already knew at that point.
Well, Chris,
That's what I wanna
that's
know.
the whole thing that me and Dan were talking about. I've been sending signals to him, or you, or both of us, or all collectively for months,
that's
right?
a nice fucking jacket, you guys. That Levi's.
Yeah,
They make
Kelly gave it to me.
great jackets. Sean,
Shout
do you
out
know I
Kelly.
have a Levi's jacket in my closet?
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice. I like that. Dude, it's actually my favorite thing I've ever
Yeah.
worn in my
Yep.
life. But
Yeah, Dan.
yeah, Dan, he fucking is in shock in a good way, though. You know what I mean? But yeah, for the past few months we've been like just joking randomly, and that's what me and Dan were talking about. We're like, isn't it weird that you and Chris were like saying these random things for the past few months? Like, hey, should we redo the bedroom in the back room? Remember?
No, it's not that weird because Dan has been telling us a lot of a lot of different shit.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't even know if I should even be saying this on camera.
Oh, Dan, if you're watching,
It's not that weird, Dan.
Yeah.
If you're wondering,
yeah, it's not that
like-
weird.
It's like, yeah, dude, we got it. You're banging every fucking night without
Yeah,
condoms
yeah.
on, like,
Yeah, very
Like,
unprotected.
yeah, it's gonna happen if that's the game you're playing.
I didn't want to tell you, but we'll tell you now.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, so, yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, there's a fireplace. Oh, there's a child. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
don't matter in the end.
So are we turning the office back into the nursery?
Yes.
So I won't ever be able to sleep
yes.
there ever again.
No, it's already over. We already talked it over. tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you talk about?
We talked about how you can't sleep there no more.
Nah.
Yes.
I actually
Chris.
like that office.
I
though.
know.
That fucking cute little room with that smell from that carpet.
I know.
Fuck,
And
man.
so everything is getting ripped up and back to factory settings. If you
Perfect,
never seen the picture
I want to nail
before his house
the
got sold.
fucking cord around or whatever around the
Back
ceiling,
on.
back on.
Yeah. Do you remember before Dan's house was sold, the pictures on the internet?
Yeah. of
Remember it
course.
was
we
a
were sending
nursery?
them 1 month ago. That's what
Exactly.
I'm trying to tell
That's
you.
what I'm
Did
telling
Dan
you.
know at that point when we were sending them?
Yes.
He
and he
knew?
didn't tell us.
He knew
Chris,
a month.
Dan
that long
knew.
ago?
Dan
he
knew.
that long ago? He
John.
knew that long ago?
Hey, John, if you're watching this in a month, we didn't know
Wait.
either, bro.
Wait. He knew that long
Dan was
ago?
hiding a secret between us all.
I feel like Seinfeld, like, you're telling me that he knew that long ago?
Well, he did. He knew before Thanksgiving. Before Thanksgiving.
John,
Chris, remember when we were eating a bunch of food?
John,
right?
remember when I went out on Thanksgiving Eve and had
Did
my
you?
whole life crashing down into a fucking
Ah, so you want to smoke about it?
airplane? No. I don't want to smoke ever again.
Listen, Chris, aside from the bullshit, on Thanksgiving Eve, what should an 18-year-old kid do? Tell me. Seriously, think about an 18-year-old.
There's two options.
Well,
if he is
Does he know what he's in yet?
if he's happy and social, he should hang out with his buddies. If he is above that, if he has a little job, if he has a little car, his parents pay the insurance, blah blah blah.
If he's on his
and
grind,
he's
though, right? If
pro-
he
and he-
has to work, should
yeah.
he work over going out
no,
that night?
No, work where? McDonald's. Life is life. Okay?
Sure. Okay.
If he is mentally ahead of the curve and he is doing good, maybe that night he's off and he has confidence and he will ask his crush, would you want to hang out with me tonight?
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Maybe that will happen, maybe it won't. Maybe he'll hang out with his buddies. Maybe they'll drive around and do nothing. Maybe they'll fucking go up to New Hope. Who knows? But if you're an 18-year-old kid, you have options. If you have zero of those options, if you're in a whole different predicament, maybe you spend Thanksgiving Eve with your family. It's not that
There's
not
there's
not that
nothing
much
bad about
detrimental.
that.
Nothing
There's
at
nothing
all.
bad about that.
nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Right? It comes down to perspective, right? So it comes down to what you feel is necessary.
It's about who you are as a person.
Yeah, it comes down to what is necessary to you at that moment. Like, so if you feel like at that moment you should be with someone who maybe likes you, then pursue that and go with that.
Right.
But if it's someone who doesn't feel that way towards you, or you just don't have a significant even other to think about, then it's just about, and I'm talking about 18 and up, everyone. I'm not talking about 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds. I'm talking about people who are developed in the brain, graduated high school, this, that, the other. You know, there's only 2-3 things that can happen on a holiday when you're at that age, right? So it's, the one is you're solo with your family, right? So you enjoy that. You're solo with your girl or guy, whatever you do.
Whatever you prefer.
Well, whatever your he, she is, right?
Sure.
What's that called?
Your he, she.
No, your pronouns.
Your pronouns.
Is that what it's called?
Whatever. Look, whoever you want to hang out with on a special occasion, it's up to you.
Right.
If you want to be drunk and alone and 17 and 18 and you want to walk down to the train tracks and you want to go drink a 6-pack up against the building in the darkness
That's
while
a good
it's snowing
idea.
out
If you never did it,
with
do
your
it.
iPod alone,
If you never
then
did it,
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah, you've never done it before?
do it.
You've never been 17 or 18 and you walk down to the train tracks with your hood up, with a cig in your mouth, with
Yeah,
a 6-pack,
you have
with
to
your
do it.
with your iPod in your ears. Remember iPods with your iPod,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you go lean up against the
I know,
building.
Matt.
And
I know, Matt. If you're watching this, you remember that
remember,
shit.
like you'd just be like in your bag, like 15, 16, 17.
Dude, I was in my
You'd
bag
have
crossing the train
You'd have
tracks.
your iPod in your fucking ears, and you'd be smoking a cig,
Yeah,
drinking.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was 20 years ago.
Chris, you don't have to get that depressing about it. What it comes down to is, it was a long time ago, but it doesn't mean that it breaks down who you are still becoming
Life is
to
always
be.
restarting.
See, Chris's thing is he
I
feels
need to go back.
he feels
I
like
need to go back.
no, he feels like there's a tornado and it's always sucking inward like the opposite of a clock, right? But the truth is that life is about the actual clock, and it's about the clock moving forward. Now, Chris is being sucked into the 9 o'clock to 8 p.m. on the 2015 scale. We need to break out of that, dude.
I want to be back in 2015.
No. Say this.
Look, end
dude.
this podcast.
No.
It's over.
No.
It's over,
Chris,
Jerry.
we haven't even finished the conversation of where we started.
All right, let's get it going.
If we want to end it, we want to end it, right?
Look, let's talk.
Because we'll
things.
talk. Yeah,
Let's
we'll talk all
red,
night.
Let's talk red
Yeah.
pill.
Yeah.
You want to talk red pill?
Yeah, I'll cut this shit up. Cut.
No cut. You want to talk red pill? Let's talk red pill. That's a good jacket you got right there. Now, what goes into the decision of that jacket, that shirt, those pants?
Chris, if I don't have any wine, I gotta run upstairs and get it to answer that question.
No wine.
No, I gotta understand it.
I gotta understand. Look, dude, we can't put this fucking on YouTube, dude. This is ridiculous.
Chris, wake the fuck up because
I'm up,
by
dog.
the morning time, you're
I'm
gonna be
up.
watching this on your feed.
It's gonna be embarrassing, okay?
Is it?
Oh,
or is that up
everybody.
to you?
Oh, everybody, go check out this fucking video of me and Sean talking about Cobra Kai drunk. Ah!
Zachy.
Look at my hand up there. It's fucking.
Look, Chris, it's not that fucking complicated, dude. I can kick you the fuck out, or I can keep you the
Yeah,
fuck
but
in.
why don't we stay on track? For every podcast,
tried
we should
to.
have a general guideline.
Chris, I tried to. I tried to keep you in. We fucking ventured off, and it's fine. That's the whole fucking point.
Well, what do we want to venture about? Do we want to talk about how Kyle's great-great-grandfather wrote Winnie the Pooh?
In a different episode, but we're already...
Kyle!
Shout out, Kyle. We're already done our episode in theory in terms of big conversation.
God, we're going to get canceled in 5 fucking minutes. People are going to watch this video and be like, what the fuck did I just listen to? Why did I waste 40 minutes of my time? What did I gain out of that?
Chris, if that's what you want to project into the world, we'll let YouTube and all of my people and all of our people that follow us leave it up to their interpretation. So if there's comments on the video that says, why is Chris so negative?
Right.
What's that going to do for you? Nothing? That should do something
All right.
in terms of...
Respect.
No, it's serious. Like,
All right.
imagine yourself being put out there and all you do is spit out negative content.
Right.
The only thing that people are going to say is...
Am I myself a toxic individual?
Maybe, but doesn't mean that you can't not be. It just means that you are currently.
I think it's time to go back to Times Square.
We can't.
No.
We don't have COVID
No.
shots.
There's no we can't.
No, we don't. We're not vaccinated right now.
It's not that we can't. It's that we can.
Chris, we're not vaccinated.
Sean, me and you need to go to Central Park and walk through it. And then, me and you, we need to go to Times Square. And then, Sean, in our lives, in our existence.
Chris,
me and
we
you-
aren't existing.
No.
Oh, okay.
In our existence, we have been.
Pin needles
We've
in
been
my
in
chest.
Times Square. We've been there. We've seen the lights. I don't remember.
Chris, you were going through a fucking What was it called?
Panic attack?
No,
I don't remember.
you and Dan were walking through the fucking
history. We were walking through a fucking march, dude. A march.
You were
It was,
walking through a
historical police advocacy violence march where they're advocating against police brutality.
yeah.
But it's a dream. I was like
shit.
16, 17. That was
Chris,
eight,
you were.
That was 8 years ago. Wake up, Sean.
I like
8 years
I like
ago.
how he says I was 16. The dude was on 2 bottles of wine that night before he got on the train. No wonder you're fucked up, dude. You drank alcohol when
Sean,
you're 14.
Kyle just came home a week ago and was up in New York by himself.
I
Don't you
kn-
get it? Don't you get it?
Yeah, well,
Don't you get it?
that's different
Listen,
circumstances. We're
listen.
talking about
I'm
2015.
talking 8 years ago. 7. I'm talking 7 years
when
ago.
Sam wiped his ass with his own fucking
Yeah?
toilet
What
paper.
an idiot. And I would have fucking said hi to that barista.
Oh, at the Starbucks?
Oh my god.
What were we at? A coffee shop
Oh
in
my
New York?
god, right in the South End, right at the
Pull up
Twin
the
Towers,
footage right
dude, right
here.
at Ground Zero.
We'll pull up the
Listen,
footage
listen,
right
listen,
here.
Listen,
I'm just kidding. We
Yeah.
ain't pulling up
We don't
shit.
got footage.
This is raw, so you're gonna get it.
listen. It's been 7.5 years. We were in Times Square. Do you remember what it was actually like being in Times Square? looking
Yeah,
at the
it was
buildings?
fucking stressful.
I don't. I remember the idea of Times
Chris,
Square.
what do you
I
were
remember.
fucking 7 years old?
I remember you getting held up by the people. I remember.
I got robbed.
I
got
remember
robbed.
Johnny Archer trying to light a blunt or some shit.
No, me and Sam. Chris, you have the photos you took of us. You were like a little amateur photographer.
I can't believe we were in Times Square. I was a whole different individual. I was your
Yo,
whole
if you
different
hear that in the
individual.
audio, that's a true
I
laugh.
was your whole different individual.
That's an old true laugh right there.
Every 7 years, you will shed all your shells. You become a new person. You're going to hell.
Yeah,
No, but for real, dude. Like,
relax. Yeah, relax. Chill.
no, but like for real, like we need to go back
Oh,
as double adults. You know what I'm saying?
007.
007, double adults. Hey, I'm a double dish. You a double. You know.
Yeah.
We need to go back, Sean.
Yeah,
we need to go
relax,
back. It's the
dog.
double adults and the double the
Chris,
boats and
relax,
the
relax,
dash and the
relax,
finger on the ass.
I ain't gonna laugh again about it. I laughed
Yeah,
like
you
8 I laughed like 8 different times. That was
No,
ridiculous.
but realistically, like, look, I know everyone has their own wave in life these days, but we should make it a point to get back there.
Yeah,
Get
for
back
sure.
to at least Central. Get back to Ground Zero. Fuck Midtown. Fuck Times Square. Fuck
Yeah,
all that.
I don't care
We
for
could
Times
do
Square.
Central Park. We could do Ground Zero. We could do Battery Park. We could do the statue.
Yeah.
We could do the
I
statue.
was thinking,
Shut
yeah.
up. Be at the statue next week.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Hey, are you a double bubble do? I'm a double do. Double boo. Bubble double 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 bubble
Ow,
double
my
do.
chest hurts.
I know it's a heart attack. So Sean, listen. We can get to the
Shit.
statue. I'm going with Josh next week. Are you in or are you out?
I'm fuck. Yo, Josh, I'm in. Come on, man.
Joshua.
Joshua.
I'm calling Josh right
Yo,
now.
Caillou. Yo, get Josh. Well, get Josh on. Yeah,
Should I
for
get
sure.
Josh on?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna get Josh on right now.
Caillou.
Caillou, yeah. Joshua.
Just tell him that he's on the podcast immediately.
Josh doesn't know the deal.
Really? Tell him. Well, oh, tell him about Dan.
I know.
So, guys, we're gonna tell Josh about Dan. Without Dan, no.
Joshua!
Yo, Joshy.
Are you busy for the next 3 minutes?
We got big news, Josh. We got
big news. First
Sean-
of all, you're our first ever guest appearance on me and Sean's podcast.
Wait, show him on the podcast in the back. What's up,
Yeah.
Josh? Josh, we were just talking about you, man, on the podcast. We wanted to give you a call real quick.
Look, man, I know I said
and this isn't scripted. This
I
is
know
freestyle,
I said
man.
I was going. Hold on, where am I? I know I said I was going dry January. We all said some shit
until some shit went down.
until some shit went down. Josh, listen, man. Sean's knocking over wine bottles. Listen, Josh,
We're gonna be uncles.
real quick, we're gonna be uncles, dude. Fuck it. Yeah, Dan and his Sean's dropping
shit.
wine. Dan and
I'm
his
fucking
his,
drunk.
His girlfriend Chelsea, they're having a kid, dude. They came over tonight and shared the information.
Christ.
Dan is at such a good place. Like he's good. The kid's gonna have a great life, man.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, being an uncle, honestly, is the most
phone call.
things.
Keep the podcast going, Chris.
Yeah, dude, being an uncle is one of the most beautiful things. Like, in a way, like you are an extension of like a parent. Like,
Right.
meaning by you don't have the direct responsibility, but like as an uncle in this kid's life, like you really can make an impact. And like, dude, it's a beautiful thing. Like, you guys are gonna love being an uncle. It's
Yeah,
fucking
I'm really looking forward to it, man. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting boat. I mean, I know what to expect, but at the same time, I have no idea what to expect. You know that feeling?
yeah, of course.
It's a crazy thing. Um, but me and Sean, it's funny. Um, we had a bottle or two of wine in us, and we were like, why don't we start the podcast tonight? So we literally got the podcast going, and we have the camera going, and we have the microphones going right now, and we're just hanging out. But we wanted you to be our first guest on the show, even if it was over FaceTime.
Well, dude, I appreciate it, man. I'm honored. When Sean said it on TikTok earlier, I was gonna say, yo, let me hop on the podcast. I'm down.
Yeah, of course, dude. And the other thing was, Sean's taking a phone call right now. He's not even in. But before I just called you, we were just talking about when we went to New York City back in 2014. Me, Dan, and Sean, and Johnny Archett, and we are reminiscing on how cool it was. And we were just like, dude, we got to get back there. And Sean's like, nah, we'll never get back there. I was like, bro, fucking Josh goes to the fucking Statue of Liberty. We're getting back there. Like, we're going to do this shit. So me, you, and Sean, let's make it a point to get on a ferry to the Statue of Liberty and maybe see Battery Park or Ground Zero or whatever,
Dude, I'm so down. And like even our conversation earlier, we definitely like as I was reminiscing on Pittsburgh, I had such a great time. I was looking at the photos. I'm like, dude, like we gotta go do something. Like,
Right.
All right, guys.
obviously, we're gonna go.
We're
do
going
a
back
trip.
to New York, Sean.
All right, Josh. I want you to be
Yes.
at the end of this podcast because me and Chris been doing it for like an hour, right? So
Yes, sir.
say something positive to whoever might be watching out there right now. Just something positive, something lightful.
Uh, what I would tell them is just really connect with yourself, and meaning by that, like you know, make a good relationship with your self image. At the end of the day, your self image is going to be in a way like your North Star. It's going to guide you. So like
Sure.
what you think you are is what you become. So if you
Manifestation.
yeah, dude, if you want to be a better version, like you got to start perceiving yourself as a better version. So if you want yourself to be happy and healthy, don't say I suck and I'm mentally ill or whatever bad negative self-talk. Be like, "Hey, listen, like I'm a confident, loving, beautiful human being." And like make that your goal and constantly reassure you that is who you are. And as you become it, guess what? Everything else will unfold. That's it.
Awesome, Josh. Thank you so much for
Self-image.
participating. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
For sure, man. For sure. Listen,
Thank you,
everyone.
Josh.
Me and Chris are gonna. Josh, just sit tight. Me and Chris are gonna fold this one out, everyone. If you are tuning in, thank you so much. If you got any insight from what me and Chris talked about tonight, that's awesome. Chris, you have anything else to say real quickly?
Yeah, thank you for hanging in. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And if this gets posted, it gets posted. If not, it doesn't matter anyway. But God bless, and everyone have a good day / night. Peace out.
Peace.
We're in. We're done.
All right, Josh.